If you can't confess your sins to God, then at least confess them to the people that you love. What's up? What's going on, everybody? You've now tuned into my Empire recap. Make sure you subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode for your chance to get a shout out in my next one. And check out my main channel, Samore Love TV, for all my fabulous hairstyles that I be doing up on there, okay? So let's talk about this episode. So Lucious, he was having like night sweats and stuff. He's having nightmares because he's getting like these weird, like kind of like premonitions of or flashbacks of things that might have happened. He's seeing his son in the fire and he's starting to think that something ain't right, okay? So he's definitely trying to look into it and find out what's going on. Because usually when you have a hunch, I mean, for a lot of people, usually when you have a hunch or something kind of comes to you in a dream, a lot of times it tends to be real. I know for me, I've had a lot of things in my dreams come to me. Either it's stuff that happened or stuff that, kind of made sense at the end, So, what happened after that? Tiana, Hakeem, and Jamal, they were like performing on stage, and Eddy, remember the family friend Eddy, aka Forrest Whitaker, he's like scheming. Him and his wife, they trying to get that money because remember he lost like pretty much everything because of some Ponzi scheme or something. So now he's trying to get a way to get money back for him as well as for her. So his whole thing is he's trying to like take over Empire, and he's trying to use Tiana as well as part of his plan. And it looked like he kind of has a thing for Tiana because his ex-wife did mention it, or his wife. I don't know if they still together or not. Well, I know they're not together, but I don't know if they still married or not. I don't remember if he said they were divorced. But she was saying something about, oh, I see it looks like she gonna be wife number 4. And he's like, well, what makes you think I want to get rid of wife number 3? So I guess she's his 3rd wife. But he's like, nah, it's not, he's pretty much saying like it's not even like that. But then I saw when Hakeem and her kissed, he kind of looked like, when those awkward looks where you're like, you feel mad uncomfortable. And I'm like, why would he feel so uncomfortable if it wasn't something like that, So, yeah, I ain't really... It's funny how people will turn on you when, even if you're a friend sometimes. Well, these are the fake friends. How people will turn on you so quickly in order to have their own personal gain. The sun is like going in and out right now. I'm sorry. I try to put like the light, so the camera a little different so it wouldn't be all crazy, but it's going in and out. So there's this group called TBD, and they're about to do an interview with TMZ or whatever because they used to be a part of their label. Funny enough, Tisha Martin Campbell, well, she about to get divorced, but she's a part of this show as well. It's funny how now she's getting a divorce. Now she's like starting to really get out there and do things that she's always wanted to do. So that's cool. I saw that she even did like a real official music video not too long ago that was on Facebook. So anyways, they tied or whatever, and they about to pretty much create a shitstorm because they felt like they wasn't treated properly back when they was part of the label, and they just kind of like dropped them. They was starting to make a comeback, did some like little mall appearances. One of them was just horrible. They was singing, their outfits wasn't all that, and it was mad disrespectful because one of the customers like took out their audio so she could charge her phone. Like, what? I would have went off. Somebody trying to play that game, and security standing there like idiots. So Cookie ends up, because this is about to like kind of break down stuff that they're about to do. They're trying not to get any bad press right now. So Cookie, she hits them with a contract, like a reunion type of contract. But they say that they will only do it if Lucious does like a public apology to them. And with the contract, they pretty much would not be able to do the interview that they were supposed to be doing. So they did meet up with Lucious. He gave them little gifts, try to sweet talk them a little bit. You know how Lucious be doing. But it wasn't working too well. Well, at first it seemed like it was kind of working for almost all of them. But then they're like, you know, we need an apology. So he gives his apology, like, you know, I would like to apologize for anything that you feel that I did to you, you know. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, like, this ain't no freaking apology. I wish somebody would try to give me an apology like that, like, for what I feel. No, it's what you did to me, not know what I feel. That means that you feel like it's like you didn't do anything. That's what you're trying to say. Like, you're trying to apologize to me for how I feel. No, it's about what you actually did. And then they was also saying like, oh, you need to make sure that you have Cookie come in here and apologize to us as well, because we was the ones that's been holding you down. We've been doing everything for you. So I'm assuming from the way they was talking, no, they was like, where was she when you had them lonely nights? I'm like, oh, that's what type of party this was. So they mad that she's back and everything. So it was one of those types of parties where, you know, maybe he was getting a little something from each one of them. At least two of them from the way they was talking. But anyway, it didn't really end up too good with that particular meeting that they had. So they kind of like just ended up leaving. But there was like later on in the episode, they all did have like a sit down, and Cookie did some damage control, and she made sure that she flipped everything. And at the end, they ended up being the ones apologizing to Cookie, because Cookie is revitalizing, or that's the right word, revitalizing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, she's bringing their career back to life. Revitalizing, that is not the word. Reviving. Yo, y'all know what I mean. I know what I mean. So Hakeem, well, not Hakeem, Jamal, he was trying to be a part of the whole, the whole Empire showcase that they was about to be having, but Eddy kind of told him like, no, it's not really a good idea because of all the negative press that he has. So, you know, that right there is kind of making Jamal feel kind of crappy as well. You know, he's just trying to get himself back together and write new music and stuff. Andre, he's back in church, surprisingly, even though he was like hell-bent on not like believing in God or anything and just kind of like denouncing it completely. He's back in church, and he talks to the pastor or preacher or minister or whatever the dude is, but he wouldn't really like give away any information. So he was like, you know, if you're not going to talk to God, then perhaps you should at least talk to the people that you love and confess your sins to them, if it has something to do with them. Because he's getting all this anxiety because they about to throw a party for him. So Empire, they pretty much brought the girl group back. They was on stage doing their thing. They looked great, probably smelled great. They had pretty good outfits on. You know, they was just looking real professional. Everybody's just like, yes. Like, you know, and this is how you make a comeback. If you won't come back, you can't come back crappy. You know, especially if it's been like mad years. That's like, you know, an SWV or Escape or something, you know, coming back and you come back whack. Like, what was the point? You should have just stayed home collecting your royalty checks from your old albums or something, you know? Went on a different path, because this path ain't working for you. So yeah, they pretty much was able to kind of like get their careers back up and popping. Hakeem, he ended up popping the question to Tiana, like, on, so will you marry me with this nice big old ring? And she was just like, you know, we just got back together. I got to think about it. And yeah, so she pretty much said no. That's what she said. She's like, you know, I'm sorry, but I have to think about it. I can't right now. I have to focus on my career. I mean, he did kind of go off on her a few times, and, you know, that's something to really think about. Like, do I really want to be with this person who's given up on me, who's throw me to the wayside and call me all type of names and been all aggressive? Is this the way I want to live my life? I mean, I have my own career. It's not like she coming from nothing, from the gutter or anything like that. He definitely is a romantic. It's like he's just looking for somebody to fill that void in his life or something. I mean, he got his mama back, but it's like he's still trying to fill that void. Because look how he was with the first one, Naomi Campbell. Then he was with the Spanish girl. Now he with her, like, and the two of them, he wanted to pretty much marry. He'd be, like, falling, like, deep in love. And you wouldn't think, because he seems so, like, you know, he's, like, thuggish a little bit. Like, you know, he's so quick to get angry. You wouldn't think that he's such a hopeless romantic, but it's crazy how things be like that. So now they all have their little dinner or whatever. They sitting down at the table and they look more like they gathering for a wake or something, as opposed to gathering for this dude, Andre, coming back. You know, Hakeem, he wasn't feeling too good about everything with Tiana. He tells them what happened, and they're just like, his mama's like, well, you know, I don't know. It's just a nice way to say no most times. I mean, it's true, because I know I'm one of those indecisive people, or not even indecisive. I don't like to hear people like complaining. I don't like to see people all sad and, oh my God, how could you say no? You know, I just don't want to deal with it sometimes. And that's always been like one of my defense mechanisms, I guess. Well, not necessarily defense mechanism, but kind of a way to get out of things without having to hear people complain. It's like, maybe, or I'll think about it. You know, that's usually a no. So that's what his mama kind of tells him. And we all know Jamal, he's feeling some type of way about the whole label thing, how he wasn't able to be a part of it. And Andre, he's got his own little demons that he's trying to let out and be free so that he can feel good about himself. So he talks to his father privately. Can I talk to you privately, Pop? And then, like, he starts telling him, like, you know, I gotta tell you something. And then, boom, like a bomb. He tells him, like, he was the one who caused the accident, who did all this. And his father just freaking flips out and goes crazy. I mean, who wouldn't? He literally took his leg. You know what I mean? Like, he took his leg, damn near took his life and Cookie's life as well. Like, that's crazy. So when his brothers was talking to him, they just like, yo, like, Jamal, he was the most upset, I guess, because he's rekindled. He's like a good person, so I guess that's why. He's like, you know, Dad has done so much to me, and even though I probably wanted to kill him, I would never even attempt to do it, because that, you don't kill your father. And Hakeem was like trying to rationalize it, but then he just kind of gave up, and he was just like, I don't know who you are anymore, but you're not our big brother. And while they was having their conversation in one room, Lucious and Cookie, they were having a conversation in another room, just kind of talking about it and how they're not perfect people, so sometimes things like this happen. She was kind of like trying to talk him into like calmness, but then all of a sudden she started like not being able to catch her breath and having pain in her left arm. So those are usually signs for a heart attack. So that's kind of where we left off. So yeah, things about to get crazy. I mean, I'm pretty sure Cookie's not gonna die. Maybe she might have a near-death experience, but yeah, it's probably gonna be a little bit of a game changer for the family or whatever. But yeah, it's crazy, y'all. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I will see you in the next one. Later.